श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरों वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपीश गोपीप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे। I feel like I'm in a jail right now. Okay, since we have few new faces and also for this session we need to rewind a little bit about what is mind and what is intelligence. So we thought we'll quickly just give a refresher. So you'll all help me. So what do you see in this picture? And who can explain what some of these levels mean? We have a free mic. Some brave souls. Anyone? What do you see? I mean, nothing. You can just read from the picture also. Yashashvi? Go ahead, that's okay. Closer.
False ego, intelligence, mind, body, sense organs.
Okay. Who can tell what is this picture? What does this represent? Okay, Satya wants to say something and then we'll have Arush also.
So basically it's saying like, so there's an arrow that's going from gross to subtle. So that means that gross is basically something that you can physically touch, and subtle is like more like illusionary, like something you can't see. So it's saying the body is like gross, so that means you can like, it's like physical and you can like touch like other people, so that counts. And then it's going from body to mind to intelligence to false ego. So it's showing that how it becomes more and more like intangible.
Very nice, good job. So this is us. This is our picture in philosophical words. All of us actually. But all of us of course have different types of bodies, different mind, different intelligence, different false ego, and of course naturally different Atma also. And as Satya mentioned, this is gross level and this is the subtlest. Subtle as in, for example, when we say air exists, air is also matter, but it's very subtle. We cannot notice whether this air has more oxygen, more nitrogen, warm, cold, very difficult, little difficult to understand. So similarly, body is very easy to see, what sense organs we have. Mind in that sense is little more difficult to understand. If I look at a person, I can't say what type of mindset they have. More difficult than that, according to Bhagavad Gita, is intelligence, more subtler, and most subtlest is false ego. Okay, I'll tell what false ego is. The rest of it I'll take help from all of you. So it is mentioned when the soul comes from the spiritual world into the material world for the first time. It is used to being a servant. It always would like to serve others, serve the Supreme Lord. So when it comes to the material world, it needs a covering, and that covering is the false ego. It gets a new identity. It gets a false ego, false identity. So till that point, it is a servant, but somehow it have decided to come to this material world. So when it does, the first covering that was chocolate wrapper that is given to the soul is the false ego. So, what does intelligence and mind mean? Who can help answer? Okay, Arush.
So intelligence is how smart you are, and then mind is like the mindset you have in life.
Okay, very nice. So we will take you to the next slide so you can help read some of this. You can put it into sentence.
Okay, so so this is the mechanism of the mind. So intelligence is the decision maker. Mind is a storehouse of thoughts, unfulfilled desires, and previous experiences. And then everything that you think about in the mind comes from your senses. That's how it is.
Somewhat. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you for reading it for us. So it is mentioned the senses, through the senses we perceive, and the mind processes whatever we perceive. And the mind, depending on, let's say, I usually give the example of gulab jamun. For the sake of others, I'll say rasamalai. So somebody is taking rasamalai, I sees it, and mind immediately says, I ate rasamalai last time, it was very nice. Would be nice if I can get more rasamalais this time. So the mind is thinking like that. And the intelligence immediately, it is the decision maker. It says, hey, remember? Your wife scolded you for being overweight. Doctor said, diabetes. So, no more. Not a good idea. So, it is the intelligence which tells whether something is good or bad for you. In the mind, usually, it's things, feels, and wills. It says, I want it. The intelligence is the one which says yes or no. And if we have a very strong intelligence, then the intelligence will win. Which is no means no. But if the intelligence is weak, then mind will say, I want it. It's like it's small child. I want ice cream, and then that's it. So this is what happens inside our body, so to say, which will be helpful as we go along. Can someone read this? Kartika? Sorry for picking a wrong slide for you, but
mental dialogue. Smoking makes me feel cool. Intelligent things, but that's a bad habit, not good for you. You'll ruin your good health. You may become addicted to it. Don't get into wrong track.
So this is what happens inside us. I'm sure all of you can correlate. It's time to wake up in the morning. Mind says, yesterday I didn't sleep properly. And then somebody else inside says, no, but today we have a lot of work. We have to go there, do this, do that. The mind says, can't do it. Just 5 more minutes. And then you sleep. 2 hours later you wake up. And then you think, oh God, what have I done? I am fit for, and then the mind, of course we discussed this in previous sessions, the mind plays a dual role. It's like that movie Aparachitudu. So in the beginning it only tells, hey, relax, take rest, weekend. And then later it chastises you. You are fit for nothing. You decided yesterday you are a big fool. You are not fit for anything. So the mind does this dual role, unfortunately. So this is a very quick summary. I think that will be beneficial as we go through the anger management. Kids, what is this?
Inside out. Or inside out too. It's anger from inside out.
Anger from inside
I
out.
knew it inside out. I knew anger would pop out of nowhere.
We're going to figure out where it pops out from, according to Bhagavad Gita. Not the Inside Out movie, but I have not watched it. But
I knew anger would come out.
it would come out?
I knew
Hopefully not in
anger
today's
would be
session.
on screen. How do you know?
So, I'm going to start off our conversation. Okay, so today this is what we're going to do very quickly. So we're going to first discuss why do we get angry. It's going to be all of you are going to contribute. And second, why is anger dangerous? It's more dangerous than we think. We'll discuss about that. And third, how to escape anger. So the solution for anger. And fourth, it's very interesting. Most people think that anger should be given up completely. But there is a use case for anger as well. So right now, anger may be using us, but we can actually use anger in a controlled way. So we're going to discuss, just as in Indian we have these gas stoves with a big cylinder. If you light up the cylinder, it's going to probably blast. But with the regulator, if you switch it on, the same cylinder can actually provide good functionality. I mean, we'll be able to cook. So we're going to discuss that towards the end if we have time. So, disclaimer. All right. This is one of my nice, funny advertisement. So we'll see what it says.
Marcia, what happened?
Peter hit me in the nose with a football. I can't go to the dance like this.
Well, I'm sure it was an accident, sweetheart.
An eye for an eye. That's what Dad always says.
I never said that, honey.
Shut up! Time to teach Peter a lesson.
Marcia, eat a Snickers.
Why?
You get a little hostile when you're hungry. Better? Better.
Marcia, Marcia, Marcia.
Jan, this isn't about you.
It never is.
Okay, I'm going to play second time. Some of you who didn't get the joke, hopefully will get it. So the person wasn't really the person, so it's a girl only. But when she was hungry, this is how she behaves. Let's see if I can.
Marcia, what happened?
Peter hit me in the nose with a football. I can't go to the dance like this.
Well, I'm sure it was an accident, sweetheart.
An eye for an eye. That's what Dad always says.
I never said that, honey.
Shut up! Time to teach Peter a lesson.
Marcia, eat a Snickers.
Why?
You get a little hostile when you're hungry. Better? Better.
Marcia, Marcia, Marcia.
Jan, this isn't about you.
It never is.
Any guesses who the second?
They're safe.
Jim.
They're safe.
No, it's actually the brother of Masha. So he's now cranky. So he's also angry. So of course, Snickers' title is "You're not you when you're hungry, but you're also not you when you're angry." Shamkumari was telling me, and I should add this: Snickers has egg in it, so don't eat. But Vaishesha Prabhu, he said, Valmiki, he was Ratnakar. When he was Ratnakar, he wasn't able to chant the names of Rama. So Narada Muni told him to chant Mara, the name of death. Mara, 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 Mara. So it became Rama like that. And Vaishesha Prabhu was saying, similarly, if you say this repeatedly, Krishna's name will come. Please try it out once I demonstrate. Shnikar, 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 Krishna, 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 Krishna. So there is Krishna and Shnikar. Okay, all software engineers. That was for the kids. This is for the software engineers.
Okay, what is the wait. Oh yeah.
Okay, here is a quiz. What do you call an angry dessert? Kids? Angry dessert. Anyone for that matter. I'm guessing kids will be able to answer this because
Is it candy?
candy is one answer. Snickers is another answer.
Junk food? What?
Any guesses? No creativity from adults.
Ice cream.
Pizza.
Pizza.
Oh, ice cream.
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Okay. What happens when ice cream is angry?
He shouts. He screams. He
Meltdown.
Very nice. He has a meltdown. Very nice. I'm sorry, Matajis, but they say behind every successful woman or man stands, behind every angry woman stands a man. But it's not done yet. Behind every angry woman stands a man who has absolutely no idea what he did wrong. This is, see, the first half was for your fun, so second half was for their fun. So you can clap now.
It makes no sense. Wendy, absolutely.
That's okay. Dhruva, you can be here, you can enjoy, participate, but only when we tell you, you can then speak. Is that okay, Dhruva? Here is another joke. Who can read? Okay, Yashashvi has good modulation.
My therapist told me write letters to the people you hate and then burn them. I did that.
More.
But now I don't know what to do with the letters.
Whom did she burn?
He burned the letter.
Okay, here is another one, probably easier. Everybody we hear, right? Anger management 101. As if when you become angry, count to 10 numbers. So from here, you'll probably become pacified. That's the hope. So I came across this joke. If you're getting angry, think about the person, and if the person is a friend, is a junior, it is said, then you count up to 10 and then talk. But if he's your equal, you count up to 30 and then you can talk. If he's your senior, then you can count up to 100 and then you can talk. It's a joke, by the way. I see people taking pictures. You may take it before I reveal the final one. If it is your spouse, then keep counting. Okay. Funny jokes aside, now I want to hear from all of you. Why do we get angry? So raise a hand and we'll give you the mic. Quickly. Oh wow, kids are so many. We'll start with Amrita and then we'll give. It has to be brief. We'll start with Amrita first. Okay, wow, kids are so many. Why do we get angry?
I get angry because my dad tells my information.
He reveals your secrets? Is that right? He reveals your secrets. Oh, okay. Big complaint. We'll talk about it later. Okay?
I get angry because sometimes people tell me to do what I don't want to do.
Ah, very nice. Okay? Keep it short, okay? Yes.
I get angry because my brother keeps annoying me.
Okay. Dhruva and then Anish and then Yashashvi.
My dad gets angry when I do naughty stuff.
Not him. He is very tolerant.
No writing anything.
Okay, Anish and then Yashashvi.
Well, not only me, but all of us get angry with lack of self-gratification.
So when you don't enjoy, when you don't get what you want, then you feel angry. Okay, very nice. Yashashvi?
When something or someone gets on your nerves.
On your nerves. Wow, very big word. We'll give all the kids a round of applause for expressing how they get angry. Okay, now, so adults, anybody knows how?
Opinion difference.
Okay, somebody doesn't respect your opinion, there is difference in opinion. Yeah, very nice point.
When expectations are different, mismatch in expectations.
When our expectations are not met, so then we feel angry. Okay, very nice. We'll give a round of applause to both of these points. I hope somebody is making a note.
Yeah, so I was about to say like expectations not meeting, and I have another perspective of anger. Anger is a form of emotion, right? Some of don't know how to express the sadness. The sadness is anger is another form of sadness. Some person don't know how to express sadness. Anger is another form of sadness.
So when we become sad and you don't know how to express
The
it, then
sadness
it becomes
and they pick the anger. So
Very nice, very good point. I saw some hand go up here. Okay, 1, 2.
When someone is very impatient, they can get angry.
So when we are impatient, then we may get angry. Very nice point.
I was going to say similar. When you lose your patience, then you get angry.
Okay, we will give you Prashadam is guaranteed. Okay, what else?
If you see something you don't like or something happens that you don't want to happen.
So something that you don't want to happens, then you become angry. Then you get angry. Okay, very nice. Interesting. 2 more reasons. I hope you have some solutions also later on. Okay, we will.
This is just a struggle between external world with internal. So how you are reacting with the external world situations. If you are internally happy, then there is no point of angry. But most of the times, you are already occupied with something, preoccupied with something. This is good, this is bad, this makes me happy, this makes me unhappy. That is actually the triggering point. So basically, how you are reacting to the external situations totally depends upon your internal thing. So that is.
So internally, when there is some turbulence, then
yeah,
very nice. Thank you. We'll give another set of round of applause for contributions. Okay.
I also got angry because brother punches me and kicks me all the
Brother punches her, it seems. Okay.
People also get angry when others hurt the people they love.
Get angry when
Others
others
hurt the people
they love, and we become angry, saying, hey, why are you hurting my mom or dad or sister or brother? And we become angry towards them. Very nice point. Okay, thank you. Okay, any more adults? So kids are okay. Kids are done. Later. See, all kids get only 3 chances. Each of you used 2, 2, 2, and then you also used 2. So we'll have adults also should feel that this session is for us also. It shouldn't be that all the kids are complaining. Any more points? Why do we get angry? I thought we will have 100 points or something.
when someone triggers us.
Someone triggers us. Someone does something that we don't like. Okay, very nice.
Just one more thing to add. It could be an emotional response without really thinking from other person's perspective. I mean, it's more than logic. It's an emotional response.
It's usually emotional response, but yeah, very nice point. Okay, we will give a round of applause to both of them. Okay, let's see if we covered everything. Okay, Uma.
Get angry in some other situations who are not related also. If, for example, There, Bangladesh, the saints were killed in the temples. So those kind of things also makes us get angry, but we cannot do anything. Like,
So we see injustice, then we feel some frustration, some anger. Okay, very beautiful, very nice.
I want to connect that, like that's what I meant, like sad, right? So when something is happening sad, we are not able to do something. That sadness is reflecting in the form of anger. So that's the point. Yeah.
Okay, let's see if I covered everything that was described. Who can read this for us? Okay.
Expectations. Things didn't go as per my expectations. Reality. Unfulfilled expectations is the root cause of anger.
Right, so many of you mentioned unfulfilled expectations. That's one of the main reasons for becoming angry.
I am frustrated because I cannot enjoy. When our attempts to enjoy the way we want is frustrated, we become angry.
Anish was mentioning this earlier. So we have a way, we are thinking, okay, I'm gonna come sit in the sofa, get some popcorn, switch off all the lights. Kids are sleeping now. I'm gonna switch on Netflix, open some latest movie and enjoy. And as you set up everything, switch off light and switch on TV, the child shouts, if you have a very small baby as an example. Ah! Then you're like, this guy always. So when our attempts to enjoy the way we want is frustrated, especially when it is done repeatedly, then we become angry. Okay, that's also covered. Okay, Satya. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, no? Just a picture difference.
I'm feeling insulted. Anger can also result from a threat to self-esteem or dignity.
So when someone insults us, I'm a great personality and how dare he insult me? Okay. Go ahead, Arush.
I want to control. We want to be in control of money, situations, and people around us as per our wish without anybody's interference.
I mean, this is, you can say, this also falls under the category of expectations. So you'll see why we have this. So we want to control money, situations, people, and when we are not able to control the way we want it, then we naturally feel some frustration. Like, why don't you listen to me like this? When we tell children, the boss also may feel the same towards us. Why don't he join on time for the meetings like that? Somebody was mentioning opinion. Okay, go ahead.
It's not happening as per my opinion. When we insist, demand, or command that things should happen our way, my opinion, but they don't. It breeds anger and hatred.
Yeah. I was remembering superstar Rajnikant. Some movie where he says, my way is highway. Better don't come in. Something like that?
Separate way, like it's my way is like separate way.
Tamil translation more fun. So here it's saying, when our opinion is not given good importance, then we feel a little frustrated as well.
We're not controllers, we are servants of God. Frustration arises due to our refusal to accept the inevitable.
So, earlier point, we want to be the controller, but unfortunately this slide is saying that we are not really controllers. We are actually servants of God. So, here is another Bhagavad Gita. The way Bhagavad Gita explains is, all of us have these three incorrect tendencies. It says, we want to be the controller, we want to be the enjoyer, we want to be the proprietor. But in reality, we are none of these three. Yes, we want to be the controller. Yeah, we are controllers, but we are mini controllers. We can only control what we eat. We can't control how our digestive system will work. We cannot control how other people will behave. We cannot control the climate. We cannot control the traffic. Actually, very few things we can control. Most often we can't control our own mind actually. What to speak of controlling other things. But the tendency of the living entities in the material world is that we want to be controllers. I want to control everything. So, in other words, actually, we want to be the controller, we want to be the enjoyer and proprietor, which all of these put together means I want to be God. Which is why all of us have come to this material world. Because that's not our position. So God said, you won't be happy in that position. Even if you try your best, you won't be. So the second is the enjoyer. When we try to enjoy independently from God, we will be miserable. When we enjoy in accordance with the instructions of God, then we will be happy now and we will be happy in the future also. But when we try to enjoy independently with whatever, okay, something I put in my mouth, I feel something, okay, good. But depending on what you're taking, that might have a long-term repercussions. For example, I always give this, people sometimes when we're discussing about happiness and goal of life, people say goal of life is to be happy. So then drug addicts are very good actually, because they're taking drugs very happy. But the problem is they're looking at a very, very short time of happiness. They're saying, I'm going to be happy. But them taking those drugs, long term, it's going to give health issues, headaches, and so many problems, relationship issues, societal problems. Even eventually, if they give birth to children, they're going to be born with defects and so many difficulties like that. So when we talk about enjoyment, enjoying in accordance with the rules of God, that is actually good enjoyment. That enjoyment actually, because God is the one who created this body, this world. He knows best what is the best way to enjoy. So, but if we try to be the enjoyer independent of God, that's the second problem. Then we will be frustrated for sure, and then we will get angry as well. The third that Bhagavad Gita mentions is the proprietor. We think, I own this house, I own this land, my car, my family, my children, they should listen to me, everybody should follow me. So this is the proprietor mentality. So I own these. That mentality will also frustrate.
And he or she don't want to be controlled.
They don't want to be controlled by someone.
They don't want to be controlled by someone because they're worried. If someone else makes the decision, will their decisions give me enjoyment or not? Will their decisions work out the way I want or not?
Question. So can you give me an example of like how God wants us to enjoy, kind of like the checklist, or one example?
For example, God allows us to eat food, but in a regulated way. Okay, gulab jamun 1, gulab jamun 2, gulab jamun 3. Not that much. So, very simple example like that. I mean, same for the answer, of course, varies on where we are currently, and then slowly it's going to be a little difficult, but slowly over time come up to sattvic enjoyment. Right now, most of us are used to tamasic enjoyment. Eating foods that are tamasic in nature, or watching things that are tamasic in nature, going to places that are tamasic in nature. Like for example, eating all South Indians famous for two things. So, not good. I mean, there are modern scientific studies that prove by eating meat, you are 50% more susceptible to heart attacks. And there's so many things can be said about that, but it's tamasic in nature because the animal that is being killed goes through so much emotions that it is filled with anger, frustration, and fear. And when we consume that, we also naturally develop those emotions without us in control. So that is because we are what we eat. So if we eat tamasic food, eventually the type of association we keep, I was mentioning. Okay, Mataji has something.
Coming to animals, I think God has given them gift not to get angry. They don't have that emotion of anger at all. It's only humans that is being affected.
They also have, but of course, for us,
it is like self-defense. That's it, but not anger. I think.
It's not like unprocessed emotions. Yeah, you're right. They don't have actually. There is this one main difference between animals and humans is animals, it is hardwired. Almost everything is hardwired in the system. This stimulus, this input, this will be the reaction. There is not much processing and decision making and see whether this is good for my family, society, for me long term. No thinking like that. Some input, immediate reaction. But whereas human beings, it is mentioned, we can actually process the input and think long term and see whether whatever I am planning to do, my response, is it going to be beneficial? So should I react or respond? Should I think and decide what to do or not? So humans have that extra layer, and unfortunately, in a world where filled with Facebooks and TikToks, when we are conditioning our mind to immediate sense gratification, what happens is that window is narrowing down over time. And the more we are habituated to demanding enjoyment immediately, the shorter the window becomes. So immediate. So most of us, why we have anger issues is because we haven't done our homework in the past few years properly. Okay. So here is the Bhagavad Gita perspective. So someone was mentioning there is an anger management seminar somewhere, and many speakers were invited. And so one speaker was told, you will have half an hour to speak. So you will be the third speaker or something. And but as they started the seminar, some mishap happened and they could not give him the third spot that they promised. So the speaker was given the last spot, and he was only given like 5 minutes or something. Real life story. And so they gave him the mic, and he immediately became angry. He said, "You people, I drove 3 hours to attend this seminar, and you promised me that I will be speaking for so and so long, and you." So he came to speak anger management. So the point is, we hear many anger management points on YouTube, but because these are not based on Shastra, many of them are coming from Shastra, but there are some not really coming from Shastra, not coming from people who practice themselves, so they don't actually have much value. So that's why we really want to understand what Bhagavad Gita also says, not just some YouTube video. Let's see. I pressed escape accidentally. So we are interested in what the Bhagavad Gita has to say. Because when God created the world, He gave us the manual. Saying, oh, this is how your body, this is how your mind, intelligence, false ego works. This is how other people's work. The whole universe, this is how it works. So if you follow these, then you will be able to control your own self properly. You will also be able to use the resources properly. So this is what Krishna is speaking about anger. Okay. Kids, let's see who can read quickly. If you want to read, you have to come in the front.
The root cause of living
Entity.
Transmit transmigrating in the material world is his desire to control and be the Lord.
So, the root cause of living entity roaming in this material world is his desire to control and to be the God.
This will invariably lead to frustration as we are
Infinitesimal.
infinitesimal part and parcel of Supreme Lord, who is the real controller and enjoyer.
Very nice. Thank you for it. So we are not infinite, we are infinitesimal. So, but when we are trying to control so many things, naturally we will invariably be frustrated. Please repeat this verse. Kama esha krodha esha Rajo guna samudbhavaha Mahashano mahapapma Vidyenam iha vairinam. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita,
the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "It is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is the all-devouring, sinful enemy of this world."
So Krishna is doing root cause analysis. He's telling us, where does anger come from? He's saying that lust means it's not just activities between a man and woman, but lust means selfish desire to enjoy. It's a very broad definition actually. Selfish desire to enjoy is defined as lust.
Is devotion to God?
If I feel selfish, like devotion, I want to do devotion to God only, and I'm selfish in that way.
Selfish desire to enjoy
Devotion to God.
means without any connection to God. But the recommended method is selfless service to God. Selfless service to God is called love. Selfish desire to enjoy is called lust. The only difference is, in the first picture, selfish desire to enjoy, you are the center. I want to enjoy. I want to be happy. I want to be the proprietor, controller. Whereas the second one, selfless desire to serve, we put God in the center. Selfless service for whom? Of course, we can serve so many things. We serve our children, we serve our country, we serve society, we serve our companies. But Prabhupada mentions all these services because everybody has a tendency to serve. Me and Shriyan, during summer months, we would go out walking, doing chanting. So as we walk with our chanting bag and chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, we would see some Americans, they were also walking. But they have the dog, what is that? Leash. Dog leash. Dog leash, and they are walking behind dog. So I always remember, we are walking with God, chanting back. We are walking with dog. So it's that different. So I hope that's it.
Question. So you meant, like, I'm kind of confused, little bit over there. So when I go and volunteer at the temple, I enjoy doing it. Does that come in the selfish or selfless? Because I enjoy doing it, right? It's not, I don't say that like I'm selflessly volunteering, serving, like I don't consider that. I enjoy doing it, I just go, do it, and then come. Would that come under selfish or selfless? But it doesn't matter, but just want to understand.
2 points. One is because God is in the picture, even if our intentions are wrong. Let's say you are serving really to show off. I know you are not, but as an example, okay, why are you donating $1 million so that they'll put my name on the top. That's our intention. Krishna is so wonderful actually. There is a very beautiful verse in the Bhagavatam. Aho bakiyam stanakala kutam jigam sayamaya pada sadvi lebe gatinda tribuchitam tatonyam kamva dayalum sharanam rajema. It says that Krishna, when Putana came, she came with poisonous milk with an intention to kill, and she fed him poisonous milk. So Krishna, when he killed Putana, he thought, "Arey, she at least dressed up as a mother. She had the intention of giving me milk." Krishna removed poison from his picture. He ignored poison completely. So he thought she came to give me milk. So what Krishna did is, after liberating her from this body, Krishna actually gave her the position of a wet nurse in the spiritual world, because she had a desire to serve Krishna and wanted to give milk. So he gave her a position of a wet nurse. Whenever Mother Yashoda is busy, then she, we don't have Shri Ratnamala, I think her name in the spiritual world. So she is the one who mixes milk and gives to Krishna. So with Krishna, this guarantee is there. When our intentions are wrong, but actions are right, Krishna takes the actions. All right, they did service, no problem. Of course, we may not get the ticket immediately. We may go through purificatory process, but Krishna personally will send somebody who will correct our intention in due course of time when we are open for it. If our intention is right, but our action is wrong, you're thinking, I'll make very nice kheer for Krishna, but instead of putting sugar, you put salt. Your husband will take, what is this? But Krishna will not do that. In the case of Akrura, when he went, not Akrura, Vidura, was it Viduraji? So he was the wife of Vidura, when Krishna went, she was so mesmerized, so happy to see Krishna. You know the story of how Krishna said, okay, I'm going to try one final time to avert this Mahabharat war. I'm going to personally go and tell Duryodhana. He tells Duryodhana. Duryodhana says, not interested. But come, we prepared very nice prasadam for you. Come sit with us. We have hundreds of varieties of items. Krishna said, I'm sorry, I'm full, not interested. And he goes, but when leaving, he goes to the house of Vidura. And then when he goes there, the wife of Vidura is so completely absorbed in devotion and feeling so much ecstasy, she peels the banana, throws the banana out and gives the peel to Krishna. And Krishna is also so absorbed in the love of his devotee that he was eating banana peel and he was also feeling ecstasy. So when our action is wrong, but intention is right, Krishna takes our intention. So either way we are saved. But that is the first point. So the second point is, of course, Krishna also gave us all this philosophy so we can actually correct. Usually, in most cases, our intention and action, both of them need some correction. So it is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, we hear, we'll get into more details later. Sakam Karma Yogi, meaning they are attached to their work. I will only make pulihara. Whenever you have that service, tell me. Otherwise, please don't bother me. I can only play kirtan. That's all. Any other service, I am not interested. I'm sorry. So they are very attached to their service, and they are also attached to the result also. Arey, I made so much pulihara for 100 people. They did not announce my name also. So that is called Sakama Karma Yogi. They are also very great people according to Krishna. But better than that, Krishna says, is Nishkama Karma Yogi. Meaning they are also still attached to the work, but they are not attached to the result. So they'll only call me when you have Pulihara service. So they'll come, they'll make, they don't care whether you announce their name or not. So but better than that is Bhakti Yogi, where they have, you need to make jalebi? Okay, I don't know, but I'll try. I'll look up, whatever. And they are not interested in the name also. So we will go through some advancement. Hopefully it's helpful.
Yeah, thank you. One more question can I ask? You mentioned that the previous topic, previous slide now. You mentioned that when God created, He gave a checklist that this is how you enjoy, kind of, right? So I'm just curious, out of the world thinking. When He created, He has a checklist. He could have automated that, so we all would be good, right?
When you say automated, you
kind
mean
of like
forces.
it kind of like automated, right? So yeah.
Can you elaborate what automation means?
It's kind of, yeah. So these are the checklists. It's kind of, we are tuned to follow the checklist, right? So
Like for
we will not
example-
go away from the checklist because we are tuned only to that.
Think about it. Okay, we will let you develop that thought. So you're saying, let's say you have your husband, wife, right? So now, if you tune your relative to the way, let's say, you want, and they are doing exactly the way you want, precisely. 6 o'clock they wake up, 6:05 they do brush, 6:30 they get ready. So they follow exactly to your liking. Would you consider them, they have any free will?
This is kind of a habit. After some time, you develop that as a habit and you start liking it. That's the agile principle. That's what everybody does, right? So whether we like it or not, like we don't
So
like it.
they
but
may
at
say,
some-
you never allowed me to wake up at 9 o'clock. How will I know whether waking up at 9 o'clock would be, maybe I'll be happy waking up at 9 o'clock.
But that has its own impact, right? Getting late is not good for your health. Getting up early, that's what mothers do to the kids, right? So like they force it because it's a good habit. And after you enjoy the good habit, when you feel you're healthy, then you remember, oh yeah, my mom used to say that. That's why I'm
Do you know
good.
many kids, they will all agree with me. They will all think, my parents are crazy. Why don't they give us freedom? Only if they give us freedom, then I would be more happy, they'll think. So, extending your analogy, they'll think, if they allow me to wake up at 9 o'clock, I'll actually be more happy, even after waking up for 10 years at 6 o'clock, as an example. Of course, very simple. If you say the way everybody follows the same thing, everybody does, then we would all be like machines. And then, where is free will? What is the question of love when there is no free will? Everybody goes to temple, everybody does worship, everybody does Dandavat Pranam. So, I'm imagining some robotic machine.
I'm imagining then everybody will be lovely and everybody will be compassionate and there'll be no war, no this, no that. and
Only when it
everything.
is done voluntarily. Right? So only when it is done. See, a mother, when she voluntarily wakes up at the middle of the night, even though she didn't have sleep, even though it's painful, only when she does that, will she actually feel happy. She's, let's say, electric shock. Baby cries. I don't think they'll feel so. Yeah. Okay. So I was mentioning about lust, and then we're discussing lust means selfish desire to enjoy. And Krishna is telling this is the root cause of anger also. And we will see little more. Okay, we'll just read few more slides and then I have a couple of verses. Who has the mic?
Therefore, O Arjuna, best of the Bharatas, in the very beginning, curb this great symbol of sin, lust, by regulating the senses, and slay this destroyer of knowledge and self-realization.
So, see, our Vedic tradition is like this. Vedic tradition gives you, this is what you should, this is what is beneficial for you, please do. They don't force us per se, but Krishna gives us the knowledge, and you will also see the results for yourself. You will see people who are not following it, what type of lifestyle they have. You see people who are following what type of lifestyle, and then you at least get to choose by your own selves. And Krishna here he is saying, by regulating the senses. Okay, this is a very beautiful verse. Answers many questions. Please kindly repeat after me. Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsan Sangasteshu Pajayate Sangat sanjayate kama. Kamat krodho bijayate. Krodot bhavati sammoha. Sammohat smriti vibhrama. Smriti bhramshat buddhinasho. Buddhinashat pranashyati. So we are still discussing Bhagavad Gita's version of why do we get angry. So we are still discussing problem only for some of you who joined later. So this is a very beautiful verse. It is saying dhyayato. Dhyayato means contemplation. So when we contemplate on the objects of senses, like gulab jamun or a cake, for example, you see a very nice cake and you're thinking, very nice cake, I'm going to enjoy the cake. So when you initially see, you're not actually thinking, you're not particularly attached to the cake. You see, you may think, very nice cake. And then as you're doing your work, you're thinking, actually they put nice flowers also, good decoration. And then you're thinking, oh, this Mataji, she actually makes good cakes. So the more you are contemplating, this shloka says, dhyayato vishayan pumsa, when the living entity is meditating on something that the senses enjoy. Then second step happens, sangasteshopajayate. So something happens. Attachment develops. Now we think, nice cake actually. And then the more attachment, the more contemplation, the more we keep thinking about it, sangat sanjayate kama. Kama means here lust, but kama here in this particular also of course desire. Now the desire to enjoy. I wish I get a piece of that cake. Maybe the whole cake also. So this is what, so we think contemplation leads to attachment. Attachment leads to kama, desire. And when that kama is unfulfilled, kamat krodho vijayate. The mother comes and says, wait, no more cakes for you, or wife, or husband. Sorry, that I'm feeling slowly. So many roles now. Then somebody, some limit for our enjoyment, then immediately kama krodho vijayate. Then krodha comes. Anger. Why? How did he ate 2 ice creams yesterday? I didn't say anything. Why is he telling me not to eat? Or the children will think, Harit, everybody else parents are giving tons of ice cream to their children. Only my parents only don't give me. So they also become angry like that. So that's how anger develops. Of course, we see, we're going to discuss a little more later, the result of anger. Krodot bhavati sammoha. When anger arises, sammoha. Moha means illusion. Sammoha means English and Sanskrit are same here. Sammoha, not little moha, but total moha. Totally bewildered. Sammoha smriti vibhrama. Bewildered means we are not able to decide what is good or bad. And when sammoha happens, smriti vibhrama. Smriti means remembrance. Like for example, last time we may have eaten ice cream too much, and next day we probably had some sore throat, and then you decided next time I won't eat this much, or maybe in winter I will skip ice cream because you get sore throat and you are terrible for 3 days, couldn't do anything. One little ice cream gave enjoyment only for 3 minutes, suffering for 3 days. So then you made a resolution, it's okay, next time I'll be a little careful. But when you are falling down through this process, you contemplated attachment, then desire to enjoy, somebody stops, anger, and then that anger leads to some. Can you get the second one? Can you repeat it? So then Krodot bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti vibhrama. Then, when bewilderment comes, then we forget our past memories. And we become, how dare they say no ice cream? When they sleep, children do this. So when my parents sleep, then I will eat ice cream. They forget all the past history. 3-minute enjoyment, 3-day suffering, our husbands, wives also. Everybody, all of us forget like that. So then we may secretly go and eat, or we may fight and eat. So Smriti Vibhrama and Smriti Bhramshat Buddhi Nashat Pranashyati. When we forget our intelligence usually it makes, is this good or bad for me? And then it usually references our past experience. Was this good for me? Was this bad for me? No past experience? Alright, no problem. Go ahead. So, Buddhi Nashat Pranashyati. This is how we fall down from a higher consciousness to lower consciousness. From being stable to becoming angry. We put this also in picture. Okay, everybody please repeat. Contemplation leads to attachment. Attachment leads to strong desire to enjoy. And this leads to, when it is unfulfilled, leads to anger. And when we become angry, bewilderment of memory. And when our memory is bewildered, loss of intelligence. And then fall down. Okay, few points. Why is anger dangerous? We will have the second mic soon here. Meanwhile, you can shout out, Satya, 10 seconds or your money back. No pressure.
Because when you're angry, your intelligence doesn't work. That's why it is dangerous.
Mataji said, when you are angry, when we are angry, our intelligence does not work. So what we do may not necessarily be right. In most cases, it is probably counterproductive. Actually, a very beautiful point. We'll give a round of applause for that. You can shout out, I'll repeat. Okay. Why is anger dangerous? We'll get you the mic. It's working? Why? So that mic is also working. It's a little weak though. Can you try it? Just tap it. It was on, I think. Okay, go ahead, I'll repeat.
Sometimes you get too crazy and wreck everything in your path.
So when you become angry, she's saying she wrecks everything in her path. Or people do like that, you're saying. She is very intelligently putting. No person, not referring to her, not referring to her parents also. Anyone has the experience?
So one thing I think is you may destroy stuff.
You may destroy stuff, toys.
Yeah, and then you won't get them again.
You won't get them again? Yeah, very beautiful points. Thank you. Okay, Abhi.
You may do something really bad that you may regret because sometimes you're so mad at someone or something that you may do something that you may regret. I don't know, some people used to do this, if something was not working, they used to just slam it on the floor, and sometimes it broke.
Were you there when the software engineer was slamming his... No? You missed the... you missed the jokes part of it. No worries. But you're right.
Yeah,
You could see
there
into
was
the
an
past.
invention. Some people would throw something that's really hard at the TV if something bad happened. But that's why they made something like the TV brick, where it's basically a foam brick that they can throw instead of throwing their remote. But
That is true actually.
people do stuff that they regret.
So when we become angry, we may do something that we will later regret. Right? So when we become angry, so that may happen. Okay. Sugandhiji, you can say, I'll repeat.
It spoils the mood. It's bad influence and it spoils the environment. Not just for me, for others also. When I'm mad now. When I'm mad, it spoils the entire neighborhood.
So the atmosphere is also spoiled.
Yeah.
So when you become angry, usually you would all notice, you go into an atmosphere, everybody is laughing and very nice, amazing. You're also laughing for no reason. Very nice. But then you go into an atmosphere, you go home, for example, wife is shouting on the children, why are you doing like this? And then you go, you're thinking, oh God, I better not say anything. She might scold me. I'm sorry. Husbands also included. Please, every joke I tell on one side, please assume the other side.
Share each other.
Yeah.
Sharing is caring.
It may ruin the relationship.
Wow, very. Actually, it is mentioned most relationships are actually ruined because of anger only. So that's why they say anger is one letter short of danger. Who liked it? Okay, kids will get another chance. We will have. I don't know how much experience you guys have with anger. I'm surprised. Either. Okay, more adults. Why is anger dangerous? Prabhus are so silent. Okay, Bhavani Mataji, and then we want some representation from Prabhus. Either I'll assume all of you are Saumya Bhavas, no angry at all, or you are afraid to speak in front of.
So when you are angry, we are trying to explain to something to others in the way of angry style. They don't listen the point. They only see the angriness.
So when we are angered, then the point we want to convey usually gets ignored, and they may actually respond also back in angry mode. A very beautiful point. Very nice. Okay, more points. Okay, thank you, Srinaskar.
So angry is like a suicide. So we think it controls and will satisfy, but the end result is we are the victims. So
very beautiful, amazing point. Lord Buddha says, holding on to anger is like holding burning coal. With an intention to throw it on somebody else, you hold on to anger. You are the first person who will get burnt. You may burn other things also, but you probably will get burnt more.
By holding it in your hand, you're gonna burn.
You're gonna get burnt first. So
it always works on you, not on the other person.
It does work on others also, but it probably has more damaging impact on us than others. Yeah, very nice. Also, Abhi was mentioning, I was remembering, people become angry and they repent. If you're fortunate, you may have done something stupid when you're angry. But so we have a project called Motel Gita, which sends Bhagavad Gitas to all the motels in the United States. I think we distributed a few million, close to 1 million, I think, copies of Bhagavad Gita. We also distribute them to prison homes, prisons basically. And many people who go to prison, most of them, they actually say, I committed whatever violence, I was angry and I had this knife and I had no idea what I did. And here I am. So, of course, the other point is, it's not that it's a one-time occurrence only. It's not true. Just as any other habit, anger is also a habit. The more, so it is mentioned when we become angry, we have a desire to express it out. Just as nature calls, we want to go to the bathroom and relieve. So similarly, anger, it is mentioned, we just want to somehow let it out. And we feel, as soon as we let it out, we feel, nice. But that actually has a long-term effect. Maybe we'll talk about it when we, okay, so since I brought it up. So it is mentioned, we lose Ojas Shakti. So we lose some Shakti from us when we repeatedly let out our anger without controlling ourselves. When we control ourselves, actually that anger and we control, over time, of course, we systematically address it. We're going to talk about that in solution, how to understand the root cause and address the root cause. And when we systematically address it, then our ability to tolerate actually increases. But on the other hand, we just let out our anger every time we become angry. It just becomes a habit. And when it becomes a habit like that, it's just a matter of time that we will do something very, very stupid when we become angry. It's just a matter of time. And that, when that happens, we may do some irreparable damage. Irreversible or irreparable damage. Yeah. Okay, someone else also has. We'll take second timers. Mother, you also did 3. Done. Okay.
Okay, so anger. I forgot. So anger is dangerous because most people don't know how to deal with it, and when you release anger onto other people, it's like naturally satisfying in a way. So they think that like it makes them feel good, and like they don't know how to get like, oh yeah, like I guess they don't know how to not feel angry, so they just like stick with it forever.
That is true actually. But of course, if they are intelligent, they may feel happy at that moment, but they will see the quality of relationship has gone down. So maybe little later they will see actually, that wasn't such a good idea. But again, we are all not machines, but we are all human beings with free will at every moment. And we actually have the power to control our emotions also. So when next time you have an opportunity to express your anger, if we can control those emotions, then you will develop more strength to control your emotions the 3rd time. And you again control 4th time. And then slowly so much so that you will be able to control anger in a very, very provocative situations also. Prabhupada, he mentions in the 5th chapter, I think, of the Bhagavad Gita, he says, the greatness of a person must be estimated. The greatness of a person must be estimated by how he handles provoking situations. Even if he is provoked, even if he is disturbed, still if he is not externally disturbed, then he must be great, something like that.
So one question about if you let it go, right? Somebody keep on doing, right? And then somebody else will feel like there's a tolerance, right? That the person is tolerating, and then it make things worse, right? And as I was asking this question, I just thought of Shri Krishna also gave somebody 100 chances to say bad words or something, right? And then at the end, Shri Krishna, this is a limit, and that is where he uses Sudarshan Chakra.
So you are asking about the other side, not the person who is becoming angry, but you're asking about how much anger should we tolerate, or you're saying, I'm getting anger, how long can I go on just curbing or suppressing the anger?
I think it's both sides, right? It's both sides, right? Because somebody's angry, and then other side there will be response, right, or reaction, right? So if somebody's not getting angry in the other side, then they have to keep tolerating. And
so on the other side, for the suggestion or the solution for the other side, we discussed 3 modes of material nature. So in there we discussed all of us are under 3 modes of material nature: Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva Guna. So when you notice the other person, partner, children, family, friend, whatever, they are little agitated, we can be little more intelligent and say, in anger, no productive discussion can ever take place. In almost all cases, none of us can control anger. So in almost all cases, no productive discussion can happen. So we can observe, oh, okay, so angry bird. So let me stay away for now. Or either let me be emotionally strong. Let me not hear what they're saying right now. I'll just patiently hear, ignore, because none of the comments they're making will have any merit at this point. So ignore. And then when the time is appropriate, maybe a little later, we can discuss. So that's the person who's tolerating the anger can do. Of course, it's not just tolerating. It's like when we get a boil on the hand and somebody gets boils regularly on the hand, there are two ways to solve it. One is symptomatic curing. Only symptoms we cure. So we take some ointment, apply. One way to do it is to go to the root cause of the problem, and maybe you may need to spend a little more time, may get blood tests, you may need to go to the doctor, they may say change the diet. It may be more difficult to do it, but when you do that, you will actually systematically address the root cause of the problem. So we will talk a little more about that, but let me quickly go through. Let's see if everyone covered why is anger dangerous. Satya, can you quickly read? You only read all next 6 or 7 slides.
Anger almost always increases frustration.
So somebody was mentioning we will actually feel good, but in reality, if you are an anger personified person, you will be more frustrated. If you keep expressing your anger, you will notice that you would be more frustrated. How many times I have to tell you? Yesterday only I told you, no? Every day you tell in this mood, in this tone, you will be more frustrated next day. Okay.
Getting angry prevents a person from solving the problem.
Right? Someone also already mentioned. So we don't have solution approach. It probably just aggravates the problem even more.
Anger is not a solution to frustration. It is a reaction to frustration.
Yes, it's not a response, but it's a reaction. Okay.
Anger makes a person physically sick and mentally weak.
I was just reading that I was asking ChatGPT, please give me some reference for this. Because I heard this somewhere, and it is mentioned those who are habituated to getting angry, chronic anger, they have more cardiovascular diseases, more hypertension, headaches, more sleeplessness. Scientific studies, so it's guaranteed that physically also, not just relationships problem, that is anyway given. You yourself will feel more frustrated, that is also given. Not just that, even your physical body will have bad effects. Okay?
Anger is the greatest single cause for break in human relationships. If this anger and hatred keeps brewing in our system and remains in the background,
then whatever points that we discussed. And from Shastra, here is another. Why is anger dangerous? It is mentioned there are 3 highways, 3 doorways to hell. Do you know any guesses? What those are? Hey, 33% points to Murtiji. One of them. What are the other 2? Greed. Very good, beautiful. Let's give her a round of applause. Good question. There's one more. You have already heard that today. Lust. Because that is the root cause of anger and greed actually. So very nice point. We'll give Ramesh Garam the remaining 33%. Okay, please kindly repeat after me. This is I think the 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna mentions there are 3 gateways to hell. Trividam narakasyedam dvaram nashanam atmanaha kama krodha tata lobhas tasmat yetatrayam tyajet. Kartika?
There are 3 gates leading to this hell: lust, anger, greed.
Every sane man should give these up, for they lead to the degradation of the soul.
Of the soul. Degradation. So the consciousness actually reduces over time as we engage in more of these activities, so we degrade over time. So what's the solution? I think everybody wants to know. How do we escape from anger? So we have His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu gave us this formula. I think all of you might know this, so we'll very quickly go through. So again, this is not just treating the symptoms, but this is understanding the root cause of the problem and addressing them. Most often, almost all of us have very less expectations of ourselves, very high expectations of others. I worked very late yesterday, so I can sleep. Do you know why did you wake up late? I am under a lot of stress. My boss is banging me. What difficulties you have? So we always think like this. So the first part of the solution to not becoming angry is give up unreasonable expectations. Of course, it's not possible to give up expectations altogether. And some of us are given responsibility to expect from our children, from our parents and spouses and so on and so forth. So it's okay. But not unreasonable expectations. As this picture depicts, actually stress is the gap between your expectation and reality. The closer your expectation to reality, the less stress we will have. Like for example, our children, most often our children is born with some IQ, but we say no. When I was going to school, no, I would study 5th grade, I memorized all trigonometry, all that stuff. What is this? Still learning addition, subtraction. So, and then also of course, so the realistic they expect, and then the competition is not really between, maybe I think I have that in the next slide. Okay, so we'll finish this point. So give up unreasonable expectations. Sometimes people also have so much false ego of themselves, they think I should never make any mistake of our own selves. And then people also have this self-sabotaging mentality. Oh, why did I do this? Why did I do this? Oh, I'm fit for nothing. And this is the other extreme. Becoming angry with our own selves. That should also be moderate. It's not that there shouldn't be any guilt. There should be some guilt. But it is not to such an extent. The guilt should be helpful. It should push us in the positive direction. Not that the guilt is so much that you feel I am fit for nothing. Anyway, whether I'll go to office or not, whether I'll do this or not, how does it matter? Not to that level. Not to the level that it is paralyzing.
Satisfaction related to anger.
Is satisfaction related to anger? Thank you for bringing that up. We will talk about right definition of success. So in escaping from anger, E is for reduce unrealistic expectations or come to right expectations. So ES. S stands for having the right definition of success. Indian cricket team, anytime India wins, they recently won some World Cup. So all fans, they went to the airport and they welcomed the cricket team. Hey, amazing, excellent. And I think few years ago, maybe 8 years ago, Indian cricket team lost in the World Cup. And then fans went to players' homes, painted black, burnt their houses. So the reason is people are attached to the results. So, but what Krishna mentions is karmanyevadikaraste mafaleshu kadachana. So don't expect the result. You have the exact word Krishna uses is you have the right to perform your duties, but you have no right to the results. So don't expect the results. But unfortunately, most of us, we are attached to the results. Because we are attached to the results, our definition of success is When you don't get good marks, children for example, then we go, what is this? Useless. And then we become angry. Or same, we can apply in our own lives. Our definition of success is we should get very good results. Actually, results are not in our hands. Only our effort is in our hands. So that's why when we are too much attached to the results, we see in India and all around the world, students fail, they are thinking, oh God, and they are depressed. And in some extreme cases, people are even committing suicide. I know so many people who committed suicide because they couldn't get to IIT. They worked so hard, but they couldn't get to IIT, and then so unfortunate. So the right definition according to Bhagavad Gita is you do your duty and results will come automatically. You don't worry about the results. So the S in escape is right definition of success. When we have this vision, our anger can be easily controlled. The other way to say it is doing our duty is success. If we are able to perform our duty to the best of your ability, however the result may turn out. For example, we are raising children, we do our best, we give them the best facilities, we give both love and training and some strict.
And kids also love us. They are also trying to impress us and to get what we want. They are not like not doing it. They are also working hard to get.
Kids, on the other hand, if you can study, if you can also maybe develop good character, do well in your school, then you are doing your duty also. That is success in itself. And this is also very beautiful. I like success is not the trophy won, but the race run. So it's not the trophy you won, but the race that you run. So the third in the solution of escaping from anger, E stands for expectations. Give up unrealistic expectations. S, success, right definition of success. And C stands for give up unhealthy comparisons. It is mentioned that you put crabs in a bowl, you don't have to put a lid, it seems. Why? Because as one crab climbs up, the other crabs will say, hey, where are you going? Come. So if we have this mentality of pulling people down instead of pushing people up, how can you be better than me? I also studied from same school. So when we have this attitude of unhealthy comparisons, actually it is mentioned, mind has 3 cancers, 3 C's. Compare, criticize, compare, complain and criticize. So you first compare, how much are they making, how big is their house, then you complain. What is this? How did they get so much? And then you criticize. They must have did some bad stuff. So these are the 3 cancers of the mind.
Related to parents also, they compare with other kids, that's not good.
Yes, I'm coming to that point. Thank you. Actually, it is mentioned, we shouldn't compare. The only competition is between you from today and you from yesterday. As long as we are moving in the right direction, and I think we were discussing last weekend, after a long weekend, we were discussing what is the definition of right direction. I think all of us know right direction, some good qualities and going towards God. We can broadly say that is the right direction. As long as we are going in the right direction, even little bit increments. Once, one father, he asked his son, how much is 8 times 9? The son said 102. 8 times 9? The son said 102. So the father gave chocolate to the son. The wife said, hey, do you know how much is 8 times 9? Why are you giving chocolate? The husband said, 8 times 9 is 72. I know. The wife said, but why are you giving me chocolate? The husband said, yesterday when I asked him, how much is 8 times 9? He said 132. So today he came 20 digits closer. Tomorrow when he comes down to maybe 72, then I'll give him 2 chocolates and say, stop beta. So as long as his point is, as long as the child is moving in the right direction, we will encourage. So we won't. So how many times? Yesterday also you made a mistake. Today also you're making. When will you learn? So this type of frustration and unhealthy comparison is not recommended. So when we see that they are making progress, then we be satisfied. Then we encourage them, in fact. It is mentioned in Mahabharata, Duryodhan was sitting in the palace for those 13, 12 years. He had all luxuries. And Pandavas were sitting in the forest, in the Vanvas, and they had no comforts whatsoever. But all the rishis, it's a very long story, they were accompanying them and they were all very peaceful, very joyful and happy. Duryodhan would have spies report to him very regularly. And every time they would come and say, oh, they are enjoying their time in the forest. Duryodhan, even though he has all the things that he wanted, his definition of success, still, because he had this comparison mentality, he was always miserable. Even when he had everything he needed and wanted, still he was miserable. So, certainly we can learn a lesson from that. Okay, E stands for? Give up unrealistic expectations. S? Have the right definition of success. Success is in attempting, trying, not in the results. So when we have and meditate on these points more and more, we will naturally become less angry. Yes, C stands for? No unhealthy comparisons. We compare. A stands for ESCA. A stands for always count the blessings of God. So sometimes people complain, I don't have this shoes, I don't have that shoes. And I remember when Shubvilash Prabhu came last year, 1.5 years ago. So I was asking him, Prabhuji, here in America, kids are not at all grateful. They get so much and still they are dissatisfied. So he said, I recommend taking your children to Anadh Ashram when you go to India. You take them, let them experience, let them see poverty, let them see. So when children see that there are people without legs only, then they will not complain about not having another pair of shoes. Oh, I don't have those lighting up shoes. I don't have Jordan shoes, Nike shoes, like that. Kids, sometimes they complain, oh, you didn't make pasta, pizza, this. There are so many people suffering from hunger in the world. So we can actually, so similarly, we as adults, we also have this problem. They may be complaining about shoes, but we may be complaining about something else. Oh, that person, he got a very big house. What did you buy? 3-bedroom house in Bay Area. No backyard only. So instead, I think we can always count the blessings that we have in our life. Actually, there is so much. If we can count, there is so much more than we ever need in reality. But somehow, okay. ESCAP. P stands for people. Don't overly be bothered about what people think of you. It's mentioned once, one husband and wife, one old lady and man, they were going from one village to another village many hundreds of years ago. And as they were going through different villages, so they had a donkey. So both of them sat on the donkey and they were going. So as they came to one village, the villagers said, what are these? Heartless people. Both of them are sitting on top of the donkey Poor donkey. So the husband thought, oh, are you okay? Let me get down. And then they started walking, and as they went to the next village, people in that village, they said, spineless man. He is a puppet in the hands of wife, it looks like. Very foolish. And the man said, okay, you get down. So he got the wife down, and he got on top of the donkey, and they started going to the next village. And as they went to the third village, they said, what is this cruel husband? He is making the wife walk, and he is enjoying the ride on the donkey. Very, very cruel husband. The husband had enough. He thought, what is this? He also got down. And both of them are walking along with the donkey. And they went to the next village. In the next village, people, they said, foolish people, they have the donkey and both of them are walking. What is the point of the donkey? It is said, you can please some people some of the times. You can please some people some of the times. You cannot please all the people all the time. So that's why, of course, Krishna also mentions Matra sparshastha kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkada agama paino nityas tam stitikshasva bharata. So both in happiness and distress, if we can practice, if we are so elated when we are happy, we are naturally putting the seed to become miserable when sadness comes. So we shouldn't be so elated or so disturbed. So we should be middle ground. Okay. And okay, P. Very nice picture. P. Material relationships always have a selfish motive. Does anyone see any guns in this picture? Two of them. They are thinking, anything he says bad? So there is a selfish motive. So that's one of the reasons why you actually can't please the people. So P is people. Don't worry too much about what people think of you. They also say this, when you are in your until 20, you are worried. You're thinking, what will people think of me? Oh, well, my hair is like this. And then maybe from 20s to 30s, you're like, I don't care what people think. I don't care. And you do whatever you want to do. And then maybe beyond 40, I suppose. I don't know the exact time yet. So then you're thinking and learn that actually people never thought about you only. They were busy in their own life. Okay, and the last letter, E, is empathize with others. This is one of the most important things if we want to reduce anger. See, each of us have some bad habits. Anyone, any bad habits? Anyone has any bad habits? You're feeling vulnerable, feeling hopeless, helpless, you can raise your hand. Krishna, please help. Both of you, all of you raise both of your hands and say, Krishna, please help. Okay, now I'm feeling little. I was thinking I'm the only one with a lot of bad habits. So we are all struggling with our own bad habits. We have resolved to give up some of our bad habits, right? In the past, we tried many methods. We failed also multiple times. Anyone have the experience? So when we see others who are also struggling with their bad habits, we can actually empathize with them. We can remember our own bad qualities that we have. We may not have the same exact carbon copy, but we can at least empathize with them in that sense. So when you see others struggling, you'll see here is another struggling soul just like me. I may have a different struggle, but let me give a helping hand. So with that attitude, if we see, then the chances of becoming angry would be less. And also, don't hate the patient. Hate the disease, but not the patient. If somebody is struggling with some bad thing, we need to understand the soul is actually pure. Soul doesn't have any of these bad qualities. So it's just that he probably had bad association in the past, and then he developed this bad habit. So hate the disease but not the patient, and do your best to cure the disease. And third is forgive people. People make mistakes. To err is human, but to forgive is divine. So we can all cultivate for our own benefit actually. When we forgive, we are the ones who would be benefited the most. We don't have to carry, as I was mentioning, the burning coal with the desire to throw it on somebody. We carry that burden on ourselves. So when we forgive people, you don't have to remember, he did like this, that, like that. So you don't have to remember any of that. She said like this, I don't know what goes on inside women's, but that was my attempt. We will also be able to tolerate when we empathize, because we have in the past have become angry and we misbehaved. So when we see others also doing the same, we will be able to tolerate. Well, all right, it's okay. He's going through that inside out episode right now. Very soon he'll be all right. And react versus respond. So when we empathize with people, we will not react, but we will take time to respond. And give up the blame game. See the sunny side of people. It is mentioned Andrew Carnegie, the one who started this Carnegie Mellon University. He at one point had some 40 plus millionaires working under him. So he was asked in an interview, what's the secret of your success? How do you manage people? So he said, when we go for gold digging, what we are looking forward to is the gold. So I may have to dig thousands of tons of mud to find little gold. I am not going for the digging to find mud. I am going to find gold. My goal was to find gold. So he said, so similarly in people, I want to mine their best qualities. So my goal is not to find out all their mistakes and what they are bad at and dig all their bad mud qualities like mud, but instead I want to focus on it. You have to do it. You have to tolerate, figure out, but figure out the gold in each of them and engage them appropriately. So he was giving this analogy of when you go for mining, you're trying to find gold, not mud. So that's why he was able to have more successful people. So we have to find the good side of people. Even Srila Prabhupada, when he came to the West, there was so many drug addicts, hippies, practically living like animals. And he was able to see all of them were inclined to music. And they would all come every Sunday, even though they would take drugs, and they would all come like this, and they would Hare Krishna, and they would even play music also sometimes, instruments. But Prabhupada saw the spark in them, and he fanned that spark, and slowly over time that little spark became a big flame. And they came to such an extent where they have given up not just drugs, they have given meat eating, intoxication, illicit relationships, gambling, and all sorts of bad habits. And they would all wake up in the morning at 4:30, 3:30, get ready by 4:30, do puja, do 2 hours of chanting, and such pure lives. Within few years, unimaginable. Actually, I don't know whether Detroit, I think. The Detroit government formally approached Srila Prabhupada. They would find any drug addict. They had this drug rehabilitation facility which didn't work out well. So then they had a tie-up with devotees. So they would bring those drug addicts to Hare Krishna temple. And so that is the level of... Srila Prabhupada was also able to find that little spark in everyone and fan, and we can see the result now. So that's the escape formula. E stands for? So have reduce unrealistic expectations. S stands for right definition of success. And C stands for? She has a comment or a question.
Yeah. So success.
Can we get mic?
That's okay. I think I'm loud enough.
We'll have it on record.
So success, you mentioned that doing your duty is going to get you to success, right? So, but as a family, when everyone do their duty, that's when a family can be successful. How do you tolerate or come out of something when family members, some of the family members don't do their duties or have some problem with the duties that they have to do? Any idea or any kind of?
Yeah, there are few things we can do. Few things that we can intelligently do, not emotionally, but
Right.
intelligently we can
Right,
do. But before that, we need to first understand philosophically, which is, we must understand karma is such a precise thing. Whatever we may have done in our past life, if we were irresponsible, if we were the cause of pain to our spouses, family members in the past, God arranges in such a beautiful way that we would also have to go through that experience. So we have to first understand, if it is written in our karma, we should be prepared to suffer. Number one. But that doesn't mean, in a way, maybe it is written in my karma. Yeah, of course, if you don't do anything now, it certainly will be written in your karma. But with that background, no expectation. But still, we do our best. What is our best? Depending on our connection and relationship with them, how much ever we are able to lovingly influence and nudge them in the positive direction. Like, for example, we can take them to some spiritual place where they probably may feel inspired. Maybe we can take them to an association where whatever responsibilities you are expecting them to do are the norm and everybody else also does those. So then they'll feel, it looks like all these people are doing this, maybe I should also do. So they may develop that. Of course, we will also lovingly tell them. In most cases, close relationships, spouse or family is the last nobody listens to. So usually we don't listen to our family members. Same point, somebody else says, wonderful point. If I heard this point before, I would have done it. And then the spouse is thinking, every day I tell this only, no? Why don't they listen? That's the unfortunate reality. So yeah, we can intelligently put them in a situation where they have an opportunity to grow. But in most cases, nagging them, I think we were discussing during New Year resolution. Be the cool role model that they want to follow. Don't be the nagging watchdog. Be the cool role model you want them to follow. Like, for example, you want to inspire your spouse to do more exercise. Every day wake up and say, what is this? Today at least you do a little bit exercise. Not work. Will not work. But instead you say, hey, I decided I want to become a little more healthy in my life. So I'm going to do planks for 3 minutes. So, and then I want to tell you, so please keep me motivated, help me whenever possible. I want to do crunches. Can you please hold my legs so I can do my crunches? So whatever. So you're being the cool role model, and in the beginning you have to be strong enough for both of you. And then you do it for a few weeks. When it is done lovingly, I guarantee you, things will change. Because it's guaranteed you will not be able to change with anger, frustration, nagging, and so usually negative emotions bring negative responses only. So, but if you, on the other hand, lovingly you mention, they also, there is, the way Krishna created this material world is, anything good you do, you get some, actually it's good only. Sitting like a couch potato I thought was good, but going out and running actually gives me some joy. People will realize when they start doing it. I hope that's helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, and I think we did S. S is success. C is for? comparison. Give up unhealthy comparisons. And A is for
Always be connected to God.
always remember the good God has given us. So be grateful to God.
Remember the blessings.
Remember the blessings. Always. And P is for people. Don't worry too much. I mean, we should little bit, but not too much. Most of us care too much. Facebook, oh, my angle looks right or not. People may think I'm stout or intelligent or stupid. E stands for empathy. Most important. If we can actually, this is one of the greatest skills that would be needed, that is already needed today in human relationships. Those who are empathetic, they actually usually have very good relationship with others. They bring the best in the others. So if we can develop empathy, that will be amazing. So we will pause here and take few reflections, comments, questions, maybe over the next 8 minutes, and then we'll do. Okay, I didn't get to speak about this. So one of the ways we can increase the gap between input and output, from reaction to responding, is expanding our inner world. To be able to observe what's going on inside us. When we say I am angry, who do you think is angry? Who do you think is angry? Okay. Myself, okay. When you say yourself, is it your hand?
No, me, I'm angry.
You are angry? Okay. Can we be little more? Actually, the soul, it is mentioned, is not angry. Soul is pure. I mean, some exceptions are there, but in most cases they are okay. Mind. Very nice. All of you who told mind, we'll give a round of applause. Why the mind is angry? Because the mind has some desires. I want that. And unfulfilled desire, anger. So it is my mind which is angry. I am not angry. It is my mind that is angry. So when we detach little bit like this and are able to perceive what's going on in our bodies, subtle bodies, then we'll be able to do the right thing. When I say I am angry, difficult to act on it. When we say my mind is angry, my mind, okay, mind, little peaceful, chill out, man. I got this language, talking to kids. So we're going to do, after the reflections, we will spend little time, and it is mentioned spiritual practices give us, they zoom in on the time scale inside us. We will actually, it expands what happens in our body. We will be able to observe a little longer. We will see and may be able to stop some of these emotions, may be able to stop anger also. So, but within spiritual practices, it is mentioned meditation is the best. And within meditation, the best meditation for this Kali Yuga is mantra meditation, or the chanting of the holy names of God, which we will try after approximately 5 minutes. 5 minutes, comments, questions are also welcome, but we'll see. Few comments, maybe I'm expecting 2, 1, and 2. Who has, okay, we will start from this side. Anything that you liked from our discussion today? By the way, what did we, I think we probably covered 3 things today, right? What was the first thing we covered? Why do we get angry? I think many points were mentioned. Why anger is dangerous. So we discussed that. And third, escaping anger. Escape. Okay. So any points you liked? Anything that you, this is very nice point, I'm going to try it out. Anything like that, or any point wow, this is amazing, I never heard this point. Sugandhi, you already used it, but okay. No, just joking.
Escape formula connects really well with the Scrum Master. So when we coach the Scrum Master, so I'm going to use that for.
Very nice. Ajay.
Ajay, yes, Ajay. One more thing I want to say, that is anger. Why anger is dangerous, right? So there's a funny saying says that it's like you're drinking the poison and expecting the other person to die, right? It's not going to happen. So
Very
that's
beautiful.
why anger is dangerous. So yeah.
Very nice. We'll give very nice quote. I'll repeat. Anger is like you drink poison and you expect the other person to die. You're the one who will die actually. Very nice. Okay. One more at least. You have to work as a team. Come on, please.
So when you talked about forgiveness, right? I remember something that I read recently. So for kids in I think Japan or something, one teacher gave this activity to teach them how to what are the implications of having if you don't forgive people. So he asked all the kids how many people you don't like in the class. So people wrote some numbers. So he told bring that many kgs of each kid who like someone said 2 kg, 2 people, 3 people, something like that many kgs of boiled potato. Next day. So some people got less, some people got more, some kids got more. So he told keep holding it for the whole day.
Carry it in your
Carry it.
backpack.
And then he asked them to bring it back similarly for 7 days. So some kids were like after like 2 days, oh why did I write this many? We could have wrote, they saw the other kids who wrote less number of people they hated, right? So then they understood it's not good to have this.
Actually, very beautiful point. Thank you. When we see the subtle is so subtle, we don't know how over time it is dangerous for our health. But when it is manifested in a gross form, carrying potatoes for 7 days, who will carry? Okay, I'll forgive this. Alright, it was anyway a small mistake only. I forgive you also. Okay, now I don't have to carry the potatoes. So it's very nice. Good point. 2 points from this side, please. Center 1 point. Abhi.
So anger is like something that basically takes you out of your mind. Like you just want that satisfaction, but really you're just trying to get some, like you're trying to get your satisfaction, but you don't know like how others will feel, and sometimes it's not really good for you, and it's not even good for your health.
Yes, very nice point. Thank you. Ani, and then we'll have Dhruva. Okay, are you sharing, Ani?
Yeah.
Okay.
So also, when you're angry, your mind doesn't work that well because it's taken over by the anger. So like some of your thoughts are not like you're not thinking about it, like the consequences, and you can't even think straight about like what your actions or what you're doing, and like he said, you'll do something you regret.
Yeah, very nice. As if somebody took over our body mind system. Very nice point. Dhruva, what point did you like from the session?
It's actually not about that.
See, every time you share something irrelevant, next time you raise your hand, I'm going to ignore you.
But I want to say why I got angry.
Oh, okay, that you can share. It's relevant only. Go ahead.
So I got angry because, well, I was in the room at first watching Krishna videos, and now I got angry because I cannot watch it anymore.
Oh. So now what will you do? So becoming angry will solve the problem?
The only way I could is turn off my anger mode is playing Roblox.
Is that the only way?
Yes, exactly. The
Oh.
only way.
That is another problem. Okay, 2 final comments. By the way, I don't know your name.
My name is Akash.
Akash. Narayan ji, Satyanarayan garu, and Jyoti Akhilesh. Okay, Akash.
The one big thing that I learned, which I didn't realize before, was when you're trying to be very angry, you're basically trying to be God. like the way you said, right?
Yeah, very true.
You're trying to be a controller, enjoyer, and proprietor. So it's like, that I never expected that. And then obviously being God is like so hard, right? Because only when you realize that you're trying to do all these things, and maybe that
Yeah,
that was
also-
very enlightening to me.
Very beautiful point. Thank you for sharing. Of course, if God was like that, we don't have any powers, and still we try to act like God. But on the other hand, God has all the power, but He has so much patience, so much love, so much care that even lifetime after lifetime, we keep misusing the resources that He gives us. We don't see suddenly you're going on the road and road earthquake and so many, of course, natural disasters in one sense is God's way of reset button, but it's a God doesn't enjoy doing those type of things, but unfortunate sometimes they have to do it. But yeah, very nice point.
Well, hello. This is actually my perception, I'm telling. If somebody is expecting something from me, repeatedly, reminding me, I patiently say, wait. One fine day, the same person loses his temper. Hey man, what is this? I have been asking you so many things. You are not doing it. You are very uncertain. Then I say, you love my uncertainty. You love my uncertainty. Because that patient, from opposite point of view, what I see that the person also supposed to be reasonably patient enough to get what he is expecting from me.
So your point is reasonable. So if it is a reasonable request, then we are willing to work on it. But if it is unreasonable, instead of maybe saying wait, we can actually have a loving, trustworthy conversation on what might be reasonable. So if it is unreasonable, what they are asking is not possible. In office, yeah, maybe you can block off people and you may do what you like. But especially in personal relationships, long term, it may not work. So we have to just talk. We have to set aside our false egos and understand we are having this conversation to uplift each other, not to prove that you're better than me or I'm better than you. We have to set aside those egos, emotions aside and see, I am a struggling soul. You may be also a struggling soul. Let us help each other. Who is great doesn't matter. You become better than what you were yesterday. Please help me also become better than what I was yesterday. And those type of conversations tend to be more positive. Any other points?
And in relationships, what I am, what I think of myself is myself, right? But what others think of me also matters. But if I consider what others think of me, then I may go wrong also. What really I am, that I don't know, that I can know only by meditation, namas japa, mantra japa and all that. So this is what
one of the you understood or realized. Very nice, beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
What is meant by kama, krodha, mada, matsarya? Madam, matsaryam, these things are, and lobha. Lobha we discussed.
These are the 6 enemies.
Mada, matsarya.
Maybe we will. So we covered. I think most of the people here are aware of the 6 enemies, the Shad Ripus that plague us. The reason we are in the material world is because of these 6 things. Starting with lust, and then lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, and illusion. Mada, moha, matsarya, kama, krodha, lobha, mada, matsarya, and moha. So those are the 6 things. Of course, an explanation can be given for each other, but we will probably talk maybe during Prasadam. Any other final comments? Okay, Prashant ji and Chakri ji, and okay, we have 3 comments. All right. Oh, Sahasra also.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I think it's a great session. I like all the solutions which you mentioned, escape. Out of them, I think the most I liked is A, C and E. I think in this Kali Yuga, we might not doing these things
A is always be grateful to
Right.
God.
Yeah, we are like kind of doing a
Very rarely. Or maybe
race,
never.
like, we are always not like feeling ourselves like, we have so much given God, but we are not like, feeling that and feeling ourselves happy and always like, wanting more and
We always see what's missing, half empty glass. What good God has given, we usually don't count our
And in
blessings.
the escape, I like that, count the blessings on me. So we may tend to be frustrated and all that, but we also should think about, I should think about that, how much blessed I am.
Very nice, thank you.
Yeah. C and E is that.
C is
compare and
no unhealthy comparison.
Unhealthy comparison.
E, empathy. Very nice. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, final 2 points and
Can I add on?
time is against us, so maybe during Prasadam. We are in Brahmaloka. 5 minutes in Brahmaloka. Actually, 4 seconds in Brahmaloka. Entire Kali Yuga on planet Earth is done. So,
Hare Krishna Shyam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for a wonderful session. I feel this escape formula, I want to take a poster out of this and keep it in my home. I am pretty sure whenever I look at it, it's like a happiness vitamin. So it's going to increase my happiness. I really feel even others also should do this one, keep reminding these things. Pretty sure it is going to make their life more and more happier. That's all.
thank you very much. All glories to Radhesham Prabhu, who succinctly put this in a nice formula, so we can all escape anger.
I have one suggestion to it, adding his comment. Maybe next time maybe I can do it. So maybe I can take a escape as a printout. Short names, whatever, E, S, C, A, P, like, kind of putting as a printout and then giving it to everybody so that maybe they can keep it in front of the working place. Okay, maybe a lot of frustration and anger comes in our working times. So maybe, keeping there and because, right, see, one thing I'm noticing, right, I'm attending this session, but I'm not remembering practicing in my everyday life. So I think only the way we can do this repeatedly and following it is we need to look at it every day and go through it.
It's a very good suggestion actually, and I think it's also good idea if we can maybe help each other. Maybe as you're saying, just write escape and in a nice design, give it as papers to people. People can take pushpin in offices or at home or in kitchen, whatever. So it's a very good idea. Nice. Okay, final point from Sahasra, and then we will try chanting for 10 minutes. She's escaping. It's okay. You're welcome to share if you like. It's okay, even if it's a repetition, that's all right.
She's just waiting for me to.
Oh,
talk.
she.
Okay. She just wants
Okay,
to
all
talk
right, last
after-
two.
Last
Last two.
Thank
All
you. Hare Krishna Prabhu. I just wanted to point out one, people take pride in explaining their personalities as something like, hey, I am a person with a lot of short temper.
Oh.
Right? So, for all of those who have that kind of a feeling, we should just pass this escape form. Right? So,
That's a bigger problem. I mean, I know most people who have short temper at least have some humility and say, I'm a little short tempered as a negative thing. People say, I don't know if I came across people who think becoming angry is like a great qualification.
It's
But yeah,
also a tactic to intimidate others as well, right? So, say for instance, you're talking to your manager, right? Your manager would disclose that, hey, I don't want to see any mishaps, right? I cannot tolerate it because I'm short-tempered, right? This happens, right? This is one of the tactics where you want to show your supremacy, right? this happens. Whenever someone shows that
Actually,
intentionally
it's
or
very
unintentionally.
powerful. We will see in the dynamics of relationship. Those who keep losing their temper, they actually over time, their upper hand actually goes down. Those who maintain their composure, but still we are not intimidated. We still say, for example, workplace example, the manager may say, "Why the hell does it take 10 days to do this work?" And you may say, yes, for so and so reason, especially if you know they are short tempered, we better prepare why it takes 10 days. And then you say, this is what it takes. No, you have to do it in 5 days. I'm sorry, it can't be done in 5 days. And the more cool you are, what is this guy? They will admit defeat eventually. I have noticed in my own professional career where people try to, because it works with most people, so they try. But, good points. Any final? Offline. All right. So we will distribute chanting bags, but before that we will all get up once. I know all of you have become stones. My apologies. I forgot to do Gauranga Nityananda in the middle. Should have. We should, kids, maybe I should request Satya to keep a time and remind me next time to do Gauranga Nityananda. So this is our opportunity to stretch our legs, hands, and also at the same time reach out to God. So we designed this so that it is fun and spiritual at the same time. So we're gonna stand on our toes, reach to the ceiling as we do it, and then we're gonna say, this side is gonna say Gauranga and this side is gonna say Nityananda. Okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Gauranga Nityananda 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 Gauranga
Nityananda. Now we'll add one more to that escape formula. Looks like everybody is so happy. Everyone forgot all the anger, frustration. So anytime, next time you feel angry, you do this. Gauranga Nityananda. Other person would get both the shock and. Okay, so we will distribute these. Please sit down. We will all try chanting just one round. And can I get one?